I'm Brianna.
Hi, I'm Regina.
Welcome to the Daughter Mama Charmarama. Why do you not say it with me?
Sometimes I say it. I don't want to get tongue-tied.
Okay. I'm Gen Z.
I'm Gen X, and we are two amazing ladies talking about everything everywhere according to us. So today's topic is love, life, and laughter. Different relationships and their purposes in our lives.
Let's get into our icebreaker first. So today we're playing a short little game called the 4 C's. We each picked a car, a color, a cartoon character, and a cuisine that we feel best embodies our spirits, our vibes, you know what I mean? For me, my car is a pink Volkswagen Beetle. The car is so cute. It's little, it's cute, it's fun, it's fast. It probably sounds like a toy car. It's amazing and I love it. My color is pink because that's my favorite. Yes. A cartoon character I think embodies me. I said Bugs Bunny, but I should have said SpongeBob. I really love SpongeBob. That's my number one favorite show. It came out the year I was born. We're the same age, you know? Me and SpongeBob, we vibe. We're like this. Cuisine, cotton candy. Doesn't need to be explained.
Cuisine, cotton candy, that's so funny. Bugs Bunny is more my generation than yours. I think his character's like older than me.
He's past your generation. Bugs Bunny came out like the 30s.
Oh, silent generation
Yeah.
or whoever's before that.
He's
That's so funny. You know, different cartoons can cross generations and all that type of thing.
like SpongeBob.
Yeah, you can have him. That little weird box of a character. Yeah, I don't need him.
He's amazing, and so is his snail.
Well, you like what you like, and we like different things. So anyway, my 4 C's. So the car I'm looking at is the Advantage model of the Aston Martin. My color would be midnight blue, cartoon character, roadrunner, and cuisine, lasagna. And I'm not the type who puts yellow cheese in their lasagna. I roll to everybody who does.
That's weird.
Yeah.
We should try lasagna without the ricotta cheese or the cottage cheese. Or
I
whatever.
made it without the ricotta.
It's another region in Italy that does it with they make a bechamel. Where it's just
Bechamel.
melted cheese. I would do that.
Bechamel. Yeah, I do that for you.
Ricotta's disgusting.
I've done it without the ricotta for you.
Gross.
So anyway, we want to talk to you about a movie that we recently watched. It was on Netflix, right? It was a really good movie. We're not going to give away the plot and too many things, but we're going to talk about what impacted us.
It's called The Life List. It's very, very, very good. Very good. I swear I was almost in tears by the end of the movie. It was amazing. The pacing was great. The cinematography was wonderful. The whole thing takes place over a year and it feels like it's been like a couple of hours. It's amazing. Highly recommend.
Great writing. I like the way they kind of fleshed out and built out the characters. It was really smartly written. Cinematography, everything great.
The movie's about a young woman named Alex and her relationship with her mom. And being a young woman with a relationship with my mother, I felt like I could really identify with her with the fact that, her mom dies pretty early in the movie. And she feels really lost without her. And she felt like she was kind of going through the motions in life. And then when her mom died, she fell into this really deep depression and she felt like she lost a part of herself. And so her mom gives her 1 year to find herself and to build a life for herself. And she has to do it. She gives her these DVDs that she gets as a reward for crossing off things on a bucket list that she wrote when she was 13 years old. And she's like, every time you write that, you get to watch a DVD where I talk to you about it and congratulate you and give you a present, bring up a memory, just cute stuff like that. And it was adorable and amazing. So she really has to seize the day, carpe diem, for a whole year to get her inheritance from her mom.
I love the plot of it all, right? And I like the portrayal of the ebbs and flows in relationships as it pertains to mom and daughter, mom, and then the other family members. So again, Alex is the main, but everybody else is intertwined because they're family. You know, you can pick your friends and choose your friends, but you don't get to choose every member of your family. So there's blood, there's DNA, and then we kind of design our closeness, our access, boundaries, and just whatever the intimacy of those relationships entail. And so while Brianna relates to Alex, I don't relate to the mom because we speak in long life over here. He renews my youth like an eagle. It's natural for children to have strong ties to either parent, both parents, or guardians. It's just natural. It's just the way that things flow. Even when the parents, are not perfect and no parent is, and there's some challenges there, children are still close to their parents. It just has to be extreme for that not to happen. So there's also a natural progression for children to grow, to develop, and to heal in order to separate, to build that confidence, to be able to separate and move out on their own, so they have their own lives and they build their own privacy. And then they figure out what's necessary to create their own private lives and the lives that they want to lead. So I can see you relating to Alex in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. So one of the best takeaways that we got from the movie, go ahead and take notes for this, okay? Her mother gave her the true love test. And the first question, can you tell him everything in your heart?
Whoop!
2, is he kind? That's important. 3, does he help you become the best version of yourself? 4, can you imagine him as the father to your children?
Listen, when I told you the 4-question love test is a slam dunk, I am not mincing any words, neither am I exaggerating. I hope you took notes, but if not, rewind and write them again, and then you can add other questions that you may be interested in, right? And so the questions are brilliant. Some things seem to be a given in relationships and scouting out a partner in terms of romantic relationships, but these questions can apply platonically. You got to kind of shape them and mold them to what you want to use them for. So the short test proves most things need to be spelled out with a proper discussion, meaningful dialogue, and attention. We can't just assume and take advantage of the fact that because we love or like each other, or we built trust and closeness with one another, that we believe the same thing, we want the same things, and that our futures are going to be in lockstep. Some relationships are parallel, where we run along the same lines of progress, and some are perpendicular, where we cut or intersect one another off, and then we're at a standstill. And then some relationships, we just go our separate ways and maybe join at a later time or never again in this life. And so there has to be room for that to shape and to mold what we're looking for, and there has to be acceptance whether or not this is going to work at all. So those questions, again, brilliant, wonderful, a good start with like fleshing out who you're going to loan your life to, whether it's romantic or platonic, or even with family members. Because we can't just take for granted that because there's DNA and blood between us that we're going to always get along, always agree, and we're just stuck with one another. While we may be attached because of blood and DNA, we still have to decide and discern how we move about one another with respect.
It's better to ask than to assume. So definitely have a conversation like that in any relationship, really. Like any friendships, familial relationships, because like it could be beef. You could have beef with anybody. And I think asking these kind of 4 questions, okay, maybe not the father to your children type thing, that might be like a bit much. Does this person help you become the best version of yourself? Are they kind? Can you tell them everything in your heart? How deep is the relationship that you want it to be? Is this person that you want to be an acquaintance? I see you at work twice a week and that's fine. Or are we like locked in, you're in my will and I'm in yours?
Everybody has to define for themselves what meaningful relationships entail and who has the capacity for what. Right? And so capacity, I mean the emotional bandwidth. Some people are not developed and emotionally regulated enough in order to have the capacity to hold up the weight of you expressing your emotions and dialoguing about your emotions. They just don't have it in them, and they're not going to be able to pretend or fake it for long before it all spills out and you just decide, they don't have it to carry me. But if I need to be carried.
It's important to be realistic like that.
It is, and not just, like you said, assume. And it's okay if we decide that we have to part ways because the capacity is just not there. So another little nugget of wisdom from the movie I'd like to point out is the potential you see in someone else is what you would be doing if you were in their shoes. That's why it's so frustrating when we link and attach ourselves to potential, because potential has to be fleshed out. There needs to be a point of reference. Somebody needs to prove that not only do they have the potential, but they have examples that they've jumped out, launched out, and they've done some things along the lines of what they said that they were capable of doing, what they had the power to do, the knack for, the skill for, or whatever it is. And so you may rev up and kind of hype up an individual because you see the potential, but you're actually seeing yourself and what you would do if you was that person. People have to see and realize, have a vision, imagination, and creativity for themselves. We can't plant that in them. We can be the hype person and the cheerleader, but it has to be them making the move, taking the risk, and we're the supporting characters while they are the main. And someone may have the potential to be the main, but until they're the main, they're not the main, even in their own life.
Potential energy only matters if it's been turned into kinetic energy. And if they're not doing anything, like with all of these plans, or they have all these ideas, I want to start this business, and they never make any move to actually start the business, you're wasting your time. And you're letting them waste your time too. Leave.
Glad you pointed that out, because time is a commodity and nobody has time to waste. I mean, time is moving on like at an accelerated rate, and no one has time to just waste on themselves or on anybody else. And so that brings me to the point of when we're making decisions about relationships, whether it's platonic or romantic, and how we're moving about family, you really have to decide where you are in life and whether or not you can just partner up, link up, attach with somebody. Because if they're just lost and all off course, it's not going to take long for that to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible says that bad company corrupts good manners. So bad doesn't only mean like criminal, illegal activity. It could be somebody who's stuck in their past or stuck in their now with no forward thinking, no futuristic ideals or anything. So, I mean, we need to love and value ourselves and invest in that way first.
So in our very first episode, we talked about romantic relationships, love, no basketball. But that's not the only kind required to live like a rich and fulfilling life. You need multiple different types of relationships. Everybody needs a support system. Everybody needs a village, which means everybody needs to be a villager. Okay? Right. If you don't have the good friend, be the good friend. If you don't have the kinds of relationships that you want, it starts with being the kind of person that you would want to be in a relationship with. Personal growth, healing, childhood traumas. Go to therapy.
And go to the altar. Preferably one in your house where you have like a prayer chair and your Bible, prayer shawl, your oil, and what you need, your devotionals and worship music, what you need for that inner building.
Please heal your broken heart, or you will just be cutting everybody else around you.
The hurt you harbor is the hurt you give.
Get it together.
So Alex's mom gave Alex that 1 year to change her life. And I love the way she even though she had passed away, she walked her daughter through it with those video recordings. So I applaud her strength in being able to do that while fighting through that sickness and illness, knowing that it would end up in death. So her daughter, even though her mom was missing physically, she still had those video recordings of her mom, which gave her that companionship she needed to kind of walk through. And so Alex went through, a myriad of experiences with a boyfriend, without a boyfriend, breaking up, finding somebody else, that type of thing. So, I mean, it's okay to not be clear in relationships, but sometimes when you're not clear, you shouldn't, get involved with one, especially romantically. And like we said, work on yourself. And I like to say that, sometimes you have to increase your depth of self-love and self-care. Do what it takes to just dial down or dial back your stress levels. Coloring, I love to color. And just different things like that, like working out or just whatever it's gonna mean to value yourself, love yourself, and invest in yourself. You have to first realize your worth and value before you're gonna invest in you. And so healthy relationships start with a healthy relationship with yourself, and patience through the process of healing and becoming whole and learning the processes that make your life worth living. So we should intentionally pour into ourselves with the goal of living a good life in mind. Live life. Don't let life take off without you, right? And so use your relationship with the Lord and goals, major goals and enabling goals in order to navigate the space of living life, enjoying life, and experiencing love. So when you keep the Most High first, He'll take you down the path that you're going to create the life that you have in your heart, the life that you desire to live. And you'll have His approval because why? You're keeping Him first. So dreams do come true. You just can't be afraid to dream. And you can't neglect allowing the Lord to become your priority, your Father, your first choice, everything that He needs to be in your life while you're navigating through the dream space. And you come out of the dream space and you live in this time and in this life with Him, holding your hand, the Holy Spirit as the paraclete, walking beside you so you can move through the challenges and through the hard things, because nobody sails into their dreams or into success or into vision without obstacles, without difficulties, without delays, and without having to roll up your sleeves and war for it.
Regarding platonic relationships, I think as a woman, do not put your significant other first and front and foremost. If it's to the point where you're like cutting off your relationships with your friends, or they're all fading out and the only person in your life or the main person in your life is your significant other, you might be in danger, okay? You need people. Ladies, do not neglect your girlfriends. You need your girlfriends. Just like the show, you need your girlfriends. Not if all of them are a Tony. If you got some Tony-like girlfriends, you need to go ahead and cut it off. If you got a girlfriend like Lynn, cut her off. Put her in a box and ship her somewhere else. Okay? If you got a girlfriend like Maya, however, like a Maya or a Joan, yeah, okay. I think that was good. They're good people. Keep them kind of people around. Okay? Make sure that you're building healthy relationships that you feel permanent with, that you will be able to grow old together. Me and my friends, we're locked in. All right? I could see us at 60 years old playing in each other's yards or in each other's house and whatnot. I told my friend, I was like, look, regardless of wherever I'm at, one day you're going to come home and I'm going to be on the couch. Okay? Yeah, it's going to be me. It's going to be me right there. And that's the kind of relationship that I think everybody should have.
And you know what, you mentioned Tony and Lynn because of their behavior patterns and their character deficiencies. Some people are just not good in and of themselves. If it's rotten, it's rotten. And we're fruit checkers over here. Mm-hmm. Check the fruit. You check the fruit, then you know that there's corruption in the root. Simple as that. And we have to learn the gift of goodbye. Heal your heart and forgive yourself and whatever it is along the way, right? So we're not experts or any goody two-shoes or anything like that. Sometimes you learn things through what you suffer and what you have to go through. And the Most High, He's wise in the way He cultivates the gifts of the Spirit within us, godly virtues, and He to prune us to the point where we grow and mature, and that He'll make it so that we're in touch with people, maybe strangers or people we would not normally connect with, in order to pull something out of us, to uproot it, burn it in the fire, or to pull something up so that it can blossom and grow and be fruitful. Mm-hmm. So again, good movie. I hope that you're able to check it out, and we always hope that you gain something, glean something from what we say and share here. These are the conversations or types of conversations that we would have with one another with very loud voices in closed spaces on a soapbox about everything everywhere according to us. So we brought you into our world. So check out Alex and her mom and the family and let us know what you think about it. Talk to us about this 4 C's in your life in the comments.
Car, color, cartoon character, and cuisine.
Yeah, we'd be happy to hear from you.
And whether you've seen the show Girlfriends.
Do you have any friends that kind of those type of characteristics that we saw in Joan, Tony, Lynn, and Maya, and even William, because he was like the 5th in their 4-wheel car, I want to say.
He was an honorary girlfriend.
Yeah, honorary.
I have so many thoughts about that show.
So love, life, and laughter. Sometimes love is loving yourself before you're capable of loving someone else. And life is meant to be lived. It's meant to be enjoyed. It's also meant to be experienced. So sometimes there's tears and sometimes there's happiness. Sometimes it's a combination of both. But laughter is always good. And you notice we do a lot of that on this channel. I learned to laugh, incidentally, with my children. Like I started watching them and paying attention to the 4 of them, their interactions with one another. They would just laugh about the silliest things. And it helped me to let loose and let go and not be so rigid and serious about everything, and to laugh, hearty laughter. You know, they play jokes and pranks. The Lord used my children to restore laughter to me. So I'm grateful for that. So I'll take an opportunity to laugh before I grab irritation or annoyance, because that's always hanging out there. Yeah. And laughing at the silliest things. I mean, who needs to walk around with all this negativity when we have access to laughter and joy in this life?
Reach for joy. Let us know what kinds of relationships that you want to foster. I say always choose people that you can love with, you can live with, and you can laugh with. If you can't do those 3 things with these people, cut them off. Family is not exempt from getting hit with that no contact order, okay? I'm telling you. You're my mom and I love you, but if I didn't like you, we wouldn't be here.
And I mean, that's real. I think it's important to discern and decide whether or not you're going to do low to no contact with a mom or dad or sibling or whomever it is. Because people need time on their healing journey. Mm-hmm. I need time to be healed from, the shrapnel that I was hit by from you exploding on me. And so, we like to talk about a lot what's done to us, but let's talk about what we do to people. Mm-hmm. So it's enough healing to go around for everybody.
Yeah.
So low to no contact, whether it's a parent or not, I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm. You get to choose your relationships. You have this one short, long life to live. Make it a good one.
Make it a good one. Make it a meaningful one.
You are not a ghost. You get to live a good life. I promise.
That's right. And he'll get the glory.
Hallelujah.
He'll always get the glory. You know what? I want to mention a book. It's about caregivers. So talking about caring for yourself and being able to care for other people. Sometimes you're in a marriage or you're in a parent-child relationship and someone becomes ill and you have to become a caregiver. And so there's a new book out by Joyce Hope, and it's on Amazon. Strength for the Journey, a 31-day devotional for caregivers. Again, and it's available on Amazon, and the author is Joyce Hope. So if you are a caregiver, you want to get this in your library.
The link is going to be in the description. Thanks for tuning in this week. We'll see you again next week talking about something.
It'll be good because it's all good.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and put your notifications on so you can be abreast of when we are or what time we are posting an episode.
And let us know your 4 C's.
We want to hear. Bye.
Bye.